Right, thanks, Dave. Now, we're joined by Nicolaas Kruger, CEO of MMI Holdings. The last time we spoke to him, he spoke about how the conversations at the last WEF were overwhelming, with a lot of conversations stemming from a global perspective. This time round, we hear a different opinion. Now, we were just speaking on the sidelines, and you mentioned that you've attended a lot of African sessions this time around, a lot of conversations that were not there, that are being discussed on at least a higher magnitude. Just help us understand your perception right now.
Yeah, thank you, George. This round, I try to focus on a variety of topics, but including Africa as well. You know, we attended a very interesting session this morning where we discussed Africa's competitiveness and how Africa can become more competitive in the global context. And it's clear that public-private partnerships play a significant role, and that it's also very important that there's regional cooperations between countries. So in the east of Africa, the southern countries, the western countries, and all the participants, you know, most of them from Africa, very keen to see Africa becoming more competitive in the global context.
Now, you, the media, and a lot of investors were particularly surprised when the president of China spoke. We've mentioned this as well. But just give us a sense of your business. We've seen everyone trying to look eastwards, but the entry point is still quite an issue.
Yeah, I guess want to highlight that it was really an excellent speech delivered by the president of China. I mean, we expected a good speech, but that was excellent. You know, really statesmanship, global leadership, which ties in with the topic of this Davos session clearly. From a business perspective, we're focusing predominantly on Africa as MMI, 13 countries on the African continent, but we've also entered India at the end of December, you know, with a health and wellness business. And we had to decide is either India or China, just from a focus and a management bandwidth point of view. Right. So clearly both countries have sizable populations. So for now we'll focus on that. But clearly China plays a significant role on the African continent. So in that context, we're very interested to see how things develop.
And of course, a lot more stability with the currency on that end.
Yeah, a lot more stability. Really, China plays an excellent role to stabilize the international markets. I mean, it was mentioned in one of the discussions that China contributed 30% of the global economic growth over the past couple of years. So significant role in this regard.
Let's move into the topic on globalization and at least inequalities. You were very vocal about this, but procedures on microinsurance, we saw a lot of talk on penetration on the same. Has there been any progress since the last time we spoke to us?
Progress has been there, but it has been slow. I mean, one of the areas where, you know, we can become more competitive as an African continent is if there's better access to finance or better access to financial services products generally. Now, you need to upskill people from a financial literacy point of view, but you also need regional cooperation, to really harmonize regulations to make it easier, to expand products in a couple of countries. We as MMI certainly want to play our role on the African continent in that regard, and we have a very interesting joint venture between MMI and MTN, which we also started at the end of last year. We rolled out the products in Uganda to start with, and really it's microinsurance type offering, and we want to expand into other countries as well.
Now, you've talked about financial literacy. Another conversation that has been coming up is digital banking and cryptocurrency. Is this anything you will be focusing on or thinking about in the near future?
Yeah, certainly digital is a very, very important topic here at Davos, and it's a couple of years ago everyone talked about digital or robotics or artificial intelligence. But now it's really part of the conversation, and everyone is accepting that it has to be part of your business. It's no longer a choice, so you have to integrate it in the way you do business. Certainly, we won't be focusing on the banking aspects of things, but more on the insurance, asset management, employee benefits, that side of financial service. But it's very important, and it's part of the future. Also, this joint venture with MTN, it's really quite disruptive, and it's also a form of a digital offering, using a mobile platform to really access a large number of customers over time.
Finally, of course, last year there was a repetitive issue on equities, everyone moving away, shareholders and investors trying to shy away from that. Have they come back? And if they have, are we seeing any form of asset financing that a lot of investors are prioritizing right now?
Yeah, certainly. Last year was quite a volatile year, from a South African perspective, but also from a global perspective. Certainly, if I talk from a South African point of view, markets seem to have stabilized stabilized, and I sense there's just a bit more of a degree of optimism when we talk to the South Africa team. In fact, in an hour's time, I'm going to listen to a session chaired by Deputy President Cyril Ramaphosa, and he really instills a lot of confidence, which obviously over time will be good for markets. We've also seen equity markets in South Africa picking up nicely at the beginning of the year. It's early days, but so far so good.
Absolutely perfect. So far, so good. Allow us to leave it there. We've been speaking with Nicolaas Kruger, CEO of MMI Holdings. A lot of optimism for 2017. We're looking to a lot more than we did in 2016. And of course, we'll keep you updated on this and a lot more happening here at the World Economic Forum in Davos.